So today, let's talk about the beginning of summer. We're getting into holiday season. We've got busyness in our lives with lots of different demands from other areas. So one of the challenges I find with the summertime is finding time to be creative and block off some time to focus on what I want to create. So for me, with a studio that sort of is partly occupied by others, for me, it's going in early in the morning for 2 or 3 hours. So getting in around maybe 7 o'clock and being able to work solidly without interruption for 2 hours. And it's surprising the amount of work that can be done when you're not having to multitask as well. So that's sort of that creativity time. And for me also, I think having a notebook or a journal pad or something just to capture ideas that are floating by, and making a list of the tasks to be done in the studio as well. So prioritizing that kind of work.
Are you as creative in the summer, Susan? Do you feel it's the same as in the winter?
No, no, because I'm working in fits and starts, then it's hard to really dive deeply into a focus. So my summertime is more about getting the smaller essential tasks done. Prepping fabric, prepping paper, making a whole bunch of gel printed, monoprinted papers, doing those kinds of things. And even some tasks when my grandkids come and visit, there's some tasks that I could do and involve them as well. So that's a good question though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Chantal?
Well, I think it's a difficult answer for me because when I go into the studio, I'm getting there very, very focused, and times go very, very, very fast. And when it's time to go to sleep or time to go to an activity, or I'm kind of it's I'm in the mood, I'm not in the mood, and I have to refocus for the activities I have to do. Or it's kind of I don't know how to explain it, but the question you asked about winter and summer, there's people coming in, and grandchildren, and activities and holidays, and the schedule is not the same, so much things to do. And when I go to the studio, it's time stopped, but there's not a lot of it. So I'm kind of thirsty about time. I just wish I had more, because there's more sunlight, and I love to work with the sun. So it's mixed feelings. So when I'm on holiday, I do a lot of pictures. So I say in my mind, I'm getting all the information inside my body, so that when I'm gonna have more time in the studio, I will have all these new information for my art. So it's kind of a mixture of different feelings. How about you, Suzanne?
We're all waiting for my contrary opinion. No, it's funny because I'm not as creative in the summer, and I think it's as well currently working with encaustic. It doesn't feel like when it's hot outside, let's say, it's almost like eating soup in the summer, like you have that natural desire for that kind of cozy stuff in the winter. So, but also I'm not ever as creative when it's sunny and beautiful out, whatever. And so I kind of trick my body, like even in France, when I was there, I worked mostly, like I worked in the daytime a bit, but it's so beautiful out and I wanted to just kind of be out and wander. And I waited after dinner. I would even find myself out of sorts until it got dark. And then I almost tricked my body into not knowing that whether it's summer or winter or whatever. And that's when I'm most creative is at night. Like I often work through the night. We haven't discussed this. People don't know this, I think, but I often work till like 4 or 5 in the morning, or I get up at 1 in the morning and then I go to work. And my studio is attached to my house, so it's easy. But so I didn't realize till now that I guess I'm tricking my body into thinking that it's not summer or whatever outside. But it's funny, like with because I've got to deliver that show for Hamburg in September. So I've got to work all of August. And I'm already kind of telling myself how to do that, because we will also be in Collingwood a lot. And I want to be. I have no desire in my life to tie myself down to my studio but I can do stuff there that I can't do here. I can't do all my tool heavy stuff, but I can do all the watercolor portion of stuff. I can prepare my panels. I can do that kind of thing. And that's kind of stuff I don't mind doing because it's very different than what goes on in here. So it's, and I just have a little tote thing that I bring, and it's just a very specific thing I can do. And I know it's moving me forward so that when I get back to the studio, I can kind of do all the composition. So that helps, but it does require thought, like especially when I have to move now back and forth and I don't have a studio there. So I got to think about that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm never.
Yes, I like the expression tricking my mind. I like this.
Yeah.
Because
and I think
sometimes I will have to trick my mind and say, now it's not the time to do this. So I have to talk to my mind and say, now I'm gonna favor the day, the moment, and be in the present with my beloved. And when time is gonna be right, I'm gonna trick my mind, like you say.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just say, okay, now I'm like another world right now, and I can go and be creative.
You have to find a way to do yes, you'll probably have to do that with just your mind. For me, as I say, I'm waiting till dark. So I'm using actual real physical things. Also, I think it's just from as far back as I can remember, there is nothing better for me than when I wake up and it's a chilly, rainy day or a cold day or whatever, because all I ever want to do is be in my studio. And I don't, it's beautiful when it's nice out, but I'm not so much as well of an outdoor person that, yes, I'll want to go for a walk or a hike, but even now I can't because the bugs are so bad and they especially love me. So it's an extra problem. It's not just a normal bug thing. It's an extra problem. So I just love, like it was so hot last week, and today when I got up, it was kind of cloudy this morning and it was chilly, and it's just like, that makes my heart sing. I love that because that's perfect studio weather. And I say to people all the time when I lived in Calgary, I prefer minus 40 in Calgary over plus 30 in Toronto any day. So I think it's because I just always want to be in the studio, and I know that that's when I will really enjoy being there, is when it's too, it's not in the back of your head, I should be outside, so.
Yeah, there's no guilt involved at all.
Yeah, and I don't feel guilty, but maybe I feel guilty that I don't feel that way. Like I'm sitting there going, what's wrong with me that I'm not desperate to be out there, I just want to be in here. So, and then a little rain cloud will come by and I'll think, yay. So, it's very weird.
Yeah. And my studio gets full sun in the afternoon, so it gets very hot. And so by 2 o'clock, it's useless to even try and be in here. So, and in the evening, if I came, I can open the windows and doors. So that part isn't too bad. But yeah, I'm a morning person, and I love being in the, you know, I've come into the studio, do 2 or 3 hours, and yet there's still the rest of the day to take care of as well. So it kind of fits
Hmm.
all of us in different ways, doesn't it? Summertime.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Before,
Yeah.
in my past, I think I would have just worked when the sun was in the studio, because we have like a system that I'm not suffering from the warmth, and now I could paint all day. It's in the night, in the morning, in the afternoon. It's kind of like I'm addicted to that. So it's nice to have like a trick the mind thing, so that I could,
Yeah.
do more of to try to. I think that for what I'm saying is that when I'm not in the studio, to be happy, and when I'm in, I'm happy, but not being outside and say, oh, I could be in the studio, or be in the studio and say, oh, I could be outside. So
Mhm.
that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Great conversation. So I'm going
Yeah.
to